Hi, I'm Sam here at Rick Jones Pianos with a piano I thoroughly enjoyed playing. This is a model Kawai GS-70 built in 1988. It's a piano that we had in our shop previously, at which point we put new strings and tuning pins in it, and did a lot of work to the piano. Sold it to one of our customers, and they decided to take advantage of their lifetime trade-up, 100% trade-up guarantee. Not many people do that with a piano of this size, but they decided they had to have a Steinway, and so they got a Steinway from us. While they owned it, though, they had their technician take very good care of this piano, which we're very happy about. Didn't have to do a whole lot to it when it came back in. It was very clean when it arrived back. They also maintained very carefully, just the whole humidity situation, moderate stable humidity, keeping the piano, the wood, stable as possible. That is what we would ask that you do if you purchase any piano from us. That is what is important for making sure that you get a long life out of whatever piano you have. Regular twice-a-year tuning and moderate stable humidity. And if you do that, you can return to us and take advantage of the lifetime trade-up if you want. I wouldn't myself do that with this piano. I really enjoyed playing it. It's as if it plays itself, and I was able to sort of experiment musically with what I was playing. Especially the second piece, which was Cordoba by Isaac Albanez, written in 1898 or something. It's a piano that's very cooperative and gets out of your way when you're playing it. It doesn't interfere with how you want to express yourself musically, however you play. It's there. And I really enjoyed playing it. It's a piano I wouldn't mind having myself at home if I didn't already have a grand. Incidentally, I couldn't fit this piano in my home. It is 7.5 feet long, 7 foot 6 inches long. This is a satin ebony finish, which you can check out in the picture slideshow to the right of this video on our webpage. Satin ebony finish, not as common as the polished ebony finish that you'll find in many Kawai grand pianos. It's not 100% perfect, but still an attractive piece of furniture. What really matters is just on the inside, though, and we took great care when we were rebuilding in the past to make it right, and I'm pleased to see that it has lasted very well with proper care. I can say that the tone is mellow, and Kawai pianos are known for more of a mellow sound. The GS series maybe not as much. They're designed to have a more big, bold, brilliant projecting sound, but they all turn out differently if different technicians work on them and different customers have them. This it reminds me of, honestly, reminds me a lot of a Steinway in the way it sounds. A more modern Steinway, just really warm and creamy and gentle and soft. It has a big reserve of power if you need to bring it out. And I didn't play so much of the bass, but we'll listen to it now. It's there if you need it. It's a very powerful sound. And again, it has a very brilliant, at least a capacity for a very brilliant sound if that's what you need when you're playing the music that you play. The piano is capable of it. But overall, I think it definitely skews more toward the mellow side. And I'll rate it a 4 on a scale from 1 to 10, from mellow to bright. Just what I was playing there, that's a lot louder than I usually play. And the dynamic range is quite magnificent. It was a very big sound I was just able to get, but earlier I was able to get a really whisper soft sound, and none of the notes were lost. It was just super responsive to that. And that's what I look for personally, just because of the way I play. I want to be able to play as soft as possible without any of the notes being lost, and that's a large part of what I mean by how responsive the action feels. It's just super sensitive to really soft playing, and all the notes are there. And there's, helping out with that is the fact that there's no sort of jerking or inconsistency with the key as it moves up and down. It's just a super smooth feel. Well, even with all that, it's not a particularly hard touch. Sometimes, Kawai Grands in general are known for more of a firmer touch, particularly compared to their competitor Yamaha, also in Hamamatsu, Japan. And larger pianos tend to have a more massive feel because internally the keys are longer and the hammers are larger to match the longer string. That's just how bigger pianos are made. But this one, I would call it neutral. It's a 5, right in the middle on the scale from 1 to 10, from light to firm. It's not an easy feel, but it's not hard either. And what it reminds me of, now that I think of it, reminds me a lot of 1920s Steinways, including many of the ones we've had rebuilt in our shop. The sense that the keys float under your fingers, it can feel deceptively light, but it's not a light touch. I think a lot of that is just how smooth and responsive the feel is. And as I was referring to earlier, there's no interruptions in the course of the key as it goes up and down. It's just a super smooth, continuous feel there. That's what sort of, in my opinion, makes it feel deceptively light without actually being light. So you'll still have plenty of control over soft playing with the amount of resistance these keys have, without it being especially firm. Maybe that's why I like it. I don't like a firm touch myself. My piano at home has a rather light touch, and that's how I like it. So if you don't like a firm touch but still want something very subtle and controllable, I think you'll be really happy with the way this piano turned out. I certainly am. I actually look forward to playing this piano again when I have the occasion here in the shop. Just a pleasure to play. So 4 and 5 for tone and touch. I can mention it also has a middle pedal sostenuto. I think every single Kawai GS series Grand has that. And I should explain the GS series was a upgraded, more premium model line of Kawai Grands, comparable in my opinion to Yamaha's C series or the Conservatory series. They made excellent pianos in the KG series, which was just the standard series. But for those who had more demands of their piano, they made the upgraded GS series, which is now the RX, well actually the GX series. So I can mention that a new GX-7, which is the same size as this piano, does have an MSRP of $92,795. And I'm sure as a technician it must be a nice piano. The later model Kawais I've seen in here, the quality continues to be excellent. Kawai and Yamaha alike are known, in my opinion, for excellent, consistent quality control. And you'll get that on the more premium series too. But nonetheless, we challenge you to go play a new one and see whether it plays and sounds 3 times as better as this Kawai for the same size of piano. And with new parts, strings and tuning pins. You're welcome to make your own conclusion about that matter, but let it suffice to say that I think you'll be very impressed with this piano. I certainly am. And I was in the middle of talking about the sostenuto. Operates just like it would on any other 3-pedal Kawai Grand, larger Grand. Hold down notes on the keyboard. Only the notes that you pre-selected have their dampers engaged. The rest of the dampers they behave normally. So it's like having a third hand holding down notes on the keyboard for you. Again, more modern repertoire has it. Beethoven didn't have it in his time, but if you get creative, you could use it, I suppose, in older classical music. And if you're an especially serious pianist, as I imagine anyone who would be interested in this piano would be, or working for an institution also, rest assured this piano has the ostinato and it works on all the notes. So please come out and see this piano for yourself. I very much enjoy playing this piano, and I think you'll be impressed with it too. But if you can't make it, you can always give us a phone call or send us an email if you have any questions. Thanks.